Hi friends, my name is Deepthi. Welcome to Learn English with Deepthi. In today's video, we are going to write an essay about the social impacts of COVID-19. This is the third essay in my series of essays about COVID-19's impacts. I've already done essays about the economic impact and the environmental impact of COVID-19. I'm also planning to do a few more essays about the educational impact and the global impact of this pandemic. So if you're interested in these essays, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that you know when I upload these videos. So today's essay is about the social impacts, and we'll be talking about the impact of religious services being cancelled, domestic violence being prevalent, and unemployment causing depression and anxiety among people. Also, social distancing causing people to feel more isolated and lonely as well. So let's start the essay. Too much of anything can be bad, even time spent with those closest to you. That is what some families discovered during the COVID-19 lockdown. The pandemic forced governments around the world to close their borders, shut down schools and businesses, and restrict people from leaving their homes unless necessary. Being caged up like this can have serious negative effects on the emotional well-being of individuals and also on the society as a whole. So in this paragraph, we are saying that because of this pandemic, schools had closed, businesses closed, and everybody is stuck together at home because nobody can go outside, because governments have said don't go outside and don't travel outside unless it is absolutely necessary. So you are all stuck together. Husband, wife, kids, grandparents, everybody is stuck together in like the house all the time, and it tends to get to people. It tends to affect people negatively being stuck at home like that. During difficult times, people often turn to prayer. However, places of worship had to be closed during the pandemic, and religious services were cancelled. This has taken a toll on millions of people around the world to whom regular interaction with their religious communities is an integral part of life, particularly during stressful and anxious times. So in this paragraph, we are talking about the problems caused due to religious places being closed and religious services being cancelled. For a lot of people, going to the church or the mosque every week or going to the temple every day is like very important to them. And when they're not able to, for example, go to the church and hear the mass and hear the priest talk every week, it makes them feel bad, especially when they're depressed or anxious. Going to religious services helps them feel better, and they're not able to do that because of the pandemic. Humans are social beings, and having interactions with friends and family is important to our mental well-being. Social distancing guidelines and restrictions on even small gatherings of people have thrown many people into the throes of loneliness. Elderly people who live alone and are not technically savvy are particularly vulnerable. Feeling isolated and not having anyone to talk to can exacerbate mental conditions like anxiety and depression during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some people turn to using alcohol or drugs to help them cope with the stress, which can in turn have a negative impact on the people who live with them. So in this paragraph, we are talking about the problems caused by social distancing. We say that humans are social beings. Social being means we like being in a society. We like being with each other. Spending time with friends and family is something that is good for a human being's mental well-being. So when the government tells us to stay away from other people, it makes us feel lonely. Particularly older people feel isolated and alone. They're stuck in their homes and they don't have anybody to help, or they don't have anybody to talk to. These can all lead to loneliness for these people. And if you already have problems like stress or anxiety, being isolated and feeling lonely can only make it worse. And some people turn to drugs or alcohol to help with these kind of symptoms, but that really doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help them, and it only makes life difficult for those who live with people who take drugs and alcohol. Due to schools holding most of their classes remotely, childcare has become a problem for parents who need to go to work. Children themselves feel isolated from their friends and might have trouble coping with the new remote educational system. Lack of availability of food supplied from school can be an issue that affects students from low-income families. So in this paragraph, we are addressing the remote education that's happening right now. A lot of people have trouble with it because parents cannot go to work because their kids are home. Also, kids don't get to see their friends or their teachers, and a lot of kids have a hard time adjusting to studying online. For low-income students, this causes another problem because many of them depend on their school for providing their daily food, right? So for such students, not having the availability of that food from school is a problem for them. Unemployment, the resulting financial insecurity and stress of having to generate funds somehow to feed your family and keep a roof over your head can take an enormous toll on the mental state of any person. The anxiety and stress has been reported as the cause for the rise in domestic violence during the lockdown. Victims have little to no power to get away from their abusers, since availability of travel and financial means has been limited. So in this paragraph, we are talking about the increase in domestic violence that has been reported during the lockdown. This again, it's because of what we said in the beginning. People are all stuck together. So many people have lost their jobs during the pandemic, and because of this unemployment, many people are under a lot of financial stress. And this in turn results in more problems or conflicts at home with their partners, leading to domestic violence. A big problem is that it's difficult for people to get away because there's a lot of restrictions during lockdown for travel and everything. Thanks to technology, we now have many ways to have social contact without being physically close to others. Video calls, emails, and text messages can be great ways to stay in touch with your friends and family during the pandemic. Though virtual communication is not the same as physical interaction, it can still make us feel like we are not alone or isolated. So in this paragraph, we are saying that even though social distancing has caused us to be far away from each other, we can still be in touch with our friends and family through other means like email or text messages or video calling using apps like FaceTime or WhatsApp. All of these are very good means of staying in touch. It's not the same as being in the same room with your friends, but yeah, you can have a Zoom call or a WhatsApp meeting with them. The COVID-19 lockdown has given us an opportunity to come together as a society and let our compassion and kindness shine through. Even small things like checking up on our elderly neighbors or family members and offering to pick up groceries or medication for them if needed can be an invaluable service. We can also contribute to society and help each other by donating our time and money to provide for those less fortunate than us. So we're concluding our essay by talking about how we can use this time to come together as a community and help each other. We can check on our elderly neighbors, or we can check on our older family members, ask them if they need any help, or we can pick up groceries for them or medications for them and help them out, right? We can also donate our money or donate our time to help out other people who have trouble feeding their families or who don't have enough money. Let's help each other out, right? So that's a good way to come together as a community and to share the burden of the social impact of COVID-19. I hope this video has helped you understand the social impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Please consider this essay as an example. If you have to write an essay about it, please take ideas from my essay and then please write it in your own words. Please like and share my video, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.